Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode here. We're going to be cooking with Darrel, still a working title, but we're going to be making guacamole. Yes, that's right, the guacamole that I have made tableside for my coworkers and friends. We're going to be making that today. Not a hard recipe. I bet you everyone has their own version of their favorite guacamole, because you can definitely modify your ingredients. We're going to go with a fairly basic and traditional, American traditional guacamole, because that includes some avocado, a red onion, tomato, cilantro, for those who can handle cilantro. I know for some of you it's a gene thing and it tastes like soap, so obviously if you don't like it, you don't like it. Lime, salt, and actually one of my secret ingredients, sriracha. That is correct. Now you could replace sriracha again with the traditional either jalapeno or even a serrano pepper, but again today we are going to be going with sriracha. As I stated before, all these things are to your specifications. You can change it up. If you don't have a red onion, use a white onion. If you don't have a regular tomato, you can use a cherry tomato or Roma. Actually, I use Roma. Did not have that today. Some people even put in tomatillos. I've heard you can also add mango. So a bunch of different things you can add in. All right, first off, we're going to go with our lime. Let me roll this out a little bit, get the juices flowing. Cut this in half. I like to start off with the lime because when I add the avocado, it will help not oxidize, and so prevent it from getting brown quicker. Now for today, I only have 2 avocados, so really I'm only going to be using 1 lime. I'm going to go half in first now. This is actually a pretty juicy lime, so we'll see how much we go in. The amount of lime that you use is, of course, up to you. Now, the avocado. For some of you know, if you take off the little stem, if it's green in there, this one is slightly green, getting on the brown side, so it's ripening up. If it's still green and it has a nice soft touch to it, firm but not like soft, that's probably the perfect ripeness for an avocado. But again, if you plug in and it's green but it's super hard or really firm, you might want to let it ripen on the counter for another day or so. Oh, yeah, this one was on its way. As you can see here, oh, sorry with the angles here. It's starting to turn brown, which is not too bad. We could probably dig around that. This other one I have is a little bit better. Now, I like actually dicing my avocado in its skin actually by itself. Now, of course, please be careful. If you do it this way, you don't want to be stabbing there. Be a gentle touch. If you're not comfortable with this, by all means, scoop out your avocado and dice it up there, or you can even just mash it up right in the bowl. I'm not a big fan of mashing because I do like my avocado on the chunky side of things. So let me go scoop this in here. I'm trying to dig around the really brown bits here inside, but we're still going to have a good amount of avocado. I'll use that for something else later. Now, when it comes to the pit, again, you got to be very careful. If you're not comfortable with this, by all means, there's other ways of doing it. Other people I've seen, you take a bamboo skewer and you poke it through underneath and pushes out the pit. But I'm fairly comfortable now. So I take the knife towards the end here, or the corner here. Nice little stab, give a little twist, and there you go. And then you can just use your finger and thumb and you can just pinch it off. So that's nice. Again, please be really careful with that. If you're not comfortable doing it that way, do not do that yet. But I do think that's probably the best way. There's actually gadgets out there that help you with that stab the pit, and then you can take the pit out that way using that gadget there. We're going to go one more avocado that I already cut open. I just need to dice it up. But I do feel this is the best way of doing it. And then, also you can do this with mangoes. If you ever wonder how they also get mangoes, they do mangoes that way as well by dicing up in the pit itself, or in the when they cut the mangoes in half, You can do that in diamonds or squares. All right. These were good sized mangoes. These were two, I guess, large mangoes. Sometimes at the grocery store you see them, they say small ones. These were definitely the normal size. I maybe should have gotten a bigger bowl, but we'll see. I only have 2. Normally I do 3 to 4 because I'm usually feeding my whole, my teammates, my coworkers for the day. I've done this at the White Sox pregame. So I definitely do a few more avocados, but this should be fine. Definitely gonna go in with the other half of the lime for sure. Because again, I like the lime taste, but also it helps prevent the avocado from going brown right away. Now, hold on to this. Didn't use it all. Now I like using fresh sea salt, and you gotta season as you go. A nice little, again, this is all to taste. You want to see how that goes. Because also, I'm going to be mixing as I go as well. So I think it gets it to the right consistency. Because if you mash it up right away, I feel like you obviously can't go back once you go too far. All right. Next up, we have tomatoes. Let's see if you can see that. Got a tomato. Got that already diced up in here. So about half of a tomato. Again, these ratios are all dependent on how many avocados you have and how much you're making. But I do like the color. You do have a slight taste of the tomato in there. But, oh, I forgot to season. Usually try to season with a little bit of every ingredient. All right. The next up is our red onion. All right. I have that. This one is probably for the amount that we have. We're doing probably a quarter of a red onion. Again, it all depends on how much you like the red onion and how much you're making in total. And then do another little shaky shake, a little grindy grind. I love the fresh ground salt and pepper shakers that they have out there. Now, now we also have cilantro. Again, to taste if you like it. All right. I like to roll up the leaves. I pick the leaves out. You could cut up the stems if you really wanted to, but I feel depending on, you need to cut those up fairly fine because the stems can be very hardy and you can notice the texture and notice that you're eating stems. So I do take the time and effort to pick off the leaves. Now you can always just tear the leaves off and tear it by hand. But if you do have a sharp enough knife, it's okay using just to chop up your cilantro. Now, this looks great as is. Again, I do like it on the chunky side, but this looks good as it stands right now. I don't know. Hope you guys can see that. There you go. Now, I didn't put any heat in here yet. Again, you can always go with a jalapeno, slice this up, dice it up, or a serrano, depending on what flavor you're going for. But I like using sriracha. So give it a little shake, get it all incorporated in there. And again, depending on how much you want, you just do, excuse me, just probably, you just want to go probably a little bit at a time because you can always keep adding more. So probably like maybe half a teaspoon to a teaspoon at a time. Again, depending on how much you go. Now, that's my secret. Gives it a little bit of taste, a different of a taste using the sriracha versus just a jalapeno. That's all incorporated. Let me give it a little quick taste. Oh, just needs a little bit more salt. Now for me, I probably would go a little bit more sriracha for a little bit more heat, but otherwise it's flavorful enough. You have a little bit of taste on your tip of your tongue there. Now, I did make my own corn tortillas, tortilla chips, and I just took up some corn tortillas. This is El Milagro, whatever your favorite corn tortillas. Cut them into triangles, and then I fried them for a couple of minutes, and let them drain off of the oil. And here you go. And just to let you know, it is real deal. Hope you love that crunch. All right, here's the best thing. Going in for a dip. Hope you guys can see that. And there you go. I do like this because it's a sturdy chip, especially with the guacamole in the chunky style. But here we go. The corn tortilla, the fresh guacamole, always a great combination and definitely very shareable with your friends. Oh, forgot to wash this all down. In my other video, my taquito video, I was trying the mandarin. I have the lime Doritos. It's been a long time since I had the lime, so. Oh, I like that. Not gonna lie, it tastes very, very similar to, flavor ice, and you get the green flavor, I guess lime flavor of the green flavor ice, and you let it like melt down, and you just kind of, it's like the juice or at the end of the flavor ice that's melted. That's what it kind of tastes like. It's not as sweet, so I kind of like this. And I wish this was a little bit sweeter, but definitely very good, very refreshing. One of the better flavors out there. So fresh guacamole, nice and easy, in under 10 minutes. Hope you guys have a great one. Happy quarantine. Stay safe, stay home, save lives, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, later. Let's go.